Hello, my name is Michael Copeland. I'm the Chief Psychologist of the Cope with Pain program. And I'm here today to show how the brain works with acute pain and then with chronic pain. And I call this story Up Pain, Down Pain, Good Brain, Bad Brain. So let's travel through this journey and show you how it works. First of all, we want to talk about where pain comes from. So let's say you burn your hand. Pain starts in the area of that injury, travels up, we call the peripheral nerves, to the spinal cord to get to the brain. Pain has to go through a gate in the spinal cord to get to the brain. This is important to remember for later. Then pain travels through the different areas of the brain. First, it arrives in the primal fight or flight or freeze part of the brain. The primal brain tells the body to be on high alert. We call this the stress arousal response. This is the good brain because the primal part of the brain is designed to keep us alive. Then it travels through different areas of the brain. It next goes to the emotional part of the brain. The emotional brain remembers past threats. This is good brain because the emotional part of brain helps us remember what happened in the past to guide our actions for the current threats. Pain then travels to the front part of the brain, the thinking brain. The thinking brain considers all the options. This is good because then we can make choices instead of acting only in survival primal mode. Then it goes to the action part of the brain. The thinking brain tells the action brain what option has it chosen, what actions it wants to initiate. Then the brain starts to send the pain signal back down with an action plan. This is what we call down pain. The first choice that might come would be, well, let's remove the hand from the flame. Or the thinking brain might say there's something more important to survival, like catch a hot pot before it falls on your child. This is down pain. So let's go back to the idea of acute pain. Well, acute pain affects just the area for that specific body part in the brain. We have maps in the brain, so there's a map in the left side of the brain for the right hand, and vice versa. The map for the left hand is on the right side of the brain. Acute pain takes up about 5% of each area in the brain, and that's good brain, healthy brain, keep us alive brain. Now, how does this go wrong? Well, if the brain and body response keep going and going, and this fight, flight, or freeze response continues for a long time, then changes start to happen in the brain, the spinal cord, and the tissues, and that's what we call chronic pain. Over 3 to 6 months, those 5% areas can grow to about 20% of each area of the brain. And that's the beginning of the bad brain cycle. And that pain map starts to smudge from one part of the brain to another part of the brain in the motor area. So that's why pain can start growing. And it can even smudge across the right and left side of the bodies. And that's why pain can do what we call migrate. So somebody starts with a left shoulder, and then over time, a right shoulder starts to get painful. Then that pain map keeps sending down pain signals even when those tissues have healed. And that's bad brain really taking over and hijacking the brain. The down pain signals keep the fight, flight, or freeze and immune system on high alert, and it creates more inflammation instead of healing inflammation. That's the bad brain taking over. So how can we fix chronic pain or even avoid it by getting onto it early? Well, we can settle the brain and body response down. Tell the bad brain to stop taking over. Get good brain back. So here's some of the exercises we do in the Cope with Pain program. Identify your thoughts and emotions. If you're telling yourself when you're having your pain, oh, I can't cope with this pain, well, I want you to tell yourself, I can cope with this pain. Even if you really don't believe that, the brain and pain response doesn't know that. You can trick your brain. It will believe you and turn off the fight, flight, or freeze response. So give yourself exercises like this every day. Track your thoughts and turn them into positive thoughts, that you can cope, that you can relax yourself, you can plan strategies, and the brain, good brain, can take back over. Now I want to go back to that idea of the pain gate and show you an exercise. So I want you to bite your bottom lip with your top teeth. And you know that pain scale that goes from 0 to 10? Well, we're only going to go to a 5. Don't want any blood in this exercise. So I want you to put your teeth on the top, on your bottom lip, and just put a bit of pressure on. Now put up one hand and close your fist in that hand. And as I tell you, and we count from 1 to 5, you'll put up one finger at a time and bite harder each time. And then I'll tell you to do something else. So now put up your hand, start biting. Now bite harder to a 1, harder to a 2, even harder to a 3, then go to a 4, go to a 5. Now shake your hand, shake, 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 shake. Stop shaking. What happened to the pain? Well, let me explain where it went. We have 2 sets of nerves that go to the brain from the body. The small nerves is where pain travels. The large nerves we use for the movement, like shaking your hand or active walking. And our survival instinct said, hey, it's more important to run away than to feel the pain when we're doing that proverbial running from a tiger. So then it became more predominant, and it let it go through the gate first, and then would gate out the pain. So that's why we tell people to get active. It is very effective at closing the gate. How else can we avoid or fix chronic pain? Well, we can change our pain brain map. Think back to when you were learning to write your name in cursive writing. The brain map for the cursive writing didn't exist till you had practiced and practiced. It started the size of a pinhead and grew to the size of a pea, and now you can do it very quickly. So now I want to do another exercise with you. I want you to write your signature in the air as if you're signing a check or signing a credit card slip. And do this with your dominant hand. Very quickly, just dash it off. And again, very quickly. Okay, now try it with your non-dominant hand. Not so easy or fast, is it? This time, with your dominant hand, I want you to write it in the air, but this time close your eyes and visualize the signature like a picture. So make a snapshot and hold it in your brain. Okay? You got it? Now, trace that picture with your non-dominant hand. There you go. You're starting to build a new brain map. Next, I want you to think about the way you used to move before your illness or injury. If you've got a back, then think about the way you used to get up from the chair, or walk, or do your job, or some activity you really enjoyed. Now, I know it might be sad to think about it, but the reason we're doing this is to reactivate that brain map for the way you used to use, instead of using the pain map that's growing over time. So just visualize it. Relax, take a deep breath, keep visualizing it. Okay? Now if you keep doing this over time, you can actually shrink the pain map and regrow that old brain map back. We're going to combine it with another exercise. Now this one's really interesting. If you place a mirror in front of your face, hiding the affected part of the body, so if it's a hand, hide that hand and hide the eye that can see that hand, and place the mirror reflecting towards the unaffected limb and move the unaffected limb. Hey, it looks like your affected limb is fine. Now this is harder to do with a back. It works for a leg or an arm. But if you've got a leg or an arm, this can be phenomenal. Now move it. Okay, keep moving it, keep tricking the brain. Now over time, then you'll start to move the hidden limb, the affected limb that's behind the mirror, and the brain map won't know that it's in pain and will retrain the brain. So if you practice this visualization exercise of moving in a free and fluid manner, the mirror exercises, and these left, right, dominant, non-dominant hand exercises every day for 6 weeks, we can grow the old movement map back and shrink that pesky pain map. We can affect the up pain, the down pain, go back to good brain, and settle back down the bad brain. Thanks for your time today.